And thank you for joining us. I'm Pamela Martin reporting live for our annual Veterans Day Parade. Of course, to those who served, who are watching, or who will be marching in our parade, thank you for your service. We are proud and privileged here at Fall River Government Television to bring you live coverage. The parade just kicked off about 1 o'clock from Kennedy Park. Following the parade from the atrium, we'll have live coverage as well of a special recognition ceremony hosted by the Veteran Service Officer, Talos Doc Farris. This parade today is brought to you by the City of Fall River under the direction of Mayor Paul Coogan, also the War Veterans Council, and of course, the Veteran Service Organization. The speaking program today will be led by Brigadier General Lisa Ahasey of the United States Air Force. Earlier today, I had the special privilege of sitting down with the General and speaking one-on-one. So sit back and take a breath because General Ahasey is amazing. Your resume is amazing, and I have always looked up to you.
Same to you, my friend. It's wonderful to be here. It's been a few years, but it's wonderful to sit here with you today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for talking to us and for being our parade marshal.
Of course. Oh, absolutely. It's an honor.
Mm-hmm. So back in 1988, you finished Durfee High School. You went right into the military, Lisa. Why?
I did. Well, it started my sophomore year here in history class. Mr. Dimmick, George Dimmick, was my history teacher. So it was September 14th, 1986. It was my 16th birthday. So I went to school that day, and I thought, I'm 16, I need a job. What can I do? So I mentioned it to Mr. Dimmick. I said, hey, Mr. Dimmick, I'm 16 today. I'm going to get a job. So he offered me on the spot. He worked at Battleship Cove, so the USS Massachusetts here in the city. And he said, would you be interested in working the weekends in our Byward booth, which was a self-guided tour of the USS Massachusetts. A lot of the World War II veterans would come in, a lot of which served on the USS Massachusetts. And they would give me the tour, right? So I would talk to them, and then I'd listen and listen. And I knew from them that I needed to be part of something bigger, right? We all walk around in life wondering what our purpose is. Do we have a purpose? What is that purpose? Imagine having, and I don't even call it a job, it's a life, it's an honor, to be handed a purpose when you didn't have one, right? So I'm 17 years old at that time, and I knew, as the youngest of 7 children, college wasn't on the horizon, but I knew I wanted the military first. I knew I needed to be part of something bigger than myself. And then when I signed up in my senior year, they handed me that purpose. And it's what I've been carrying around for the last 37 years with great honor and pride.
I mean, you are a career military person. Yes. Like you said, you knew at age 16. Now you're a wife, you're a mom, you're a grandma.
Grammy, yes, absolutely.
Lisa, how do you juggle it?
And people talk about work-life balance. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't accomplished that yet, right? But I look at being present where you are. When I'm home with my wonderful husband of 30 plus years and my 3 daughters and my 3 grandchildren and my family, I'm present. I'm there. Right. I'm not at work. I'm not, thinking about what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm in that moment. When I'm at work and I'm surrounded by the greatest airmen in the world and the greatest soldiers and those that I serve with, I'm present with them. So I truly believe it's about being present where you are.
You've served, I think, in 13 different countries in Africa alone. Yes. Afghanistan.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen the world.
Yes.
What advice do you have for young people now that are considering joining the military, particularly our young women out there?
I love that question, Pam, and I talk to everyone. I love to talk to people, and I would tell them, explore it. Nothing's off limits. I used to say sky's the limit. Now we have Space Force. Sky is no longer the limit.
Right.
It's beyond, right? It is such an exciting time to serve. A lot of times people will say, what is your greatest honor? What is your greatest accomplishment?
Because your list of awards, Lisa, is endless. Well, what one would you say is nearest, dearest, or you're most proud of?
I would say none of them. None of them and all of them, because all of them are tied to an experience where I was able to serve with my fellow airmen, who I consider my family, right? Great service members from all branches throughout the country and throughout the world. So they're all tied to an experience. And to be able to see young people grow and to be able, especially in the leadership role that I'm in now, to be able to see airmen grow and doing the wonderful things that they're doing, and knowing that I had a small part in helping shape that and help lead, that's my greatest accomplishment. That's my greatest reward of any awards. It's not about the rank. It's not about the decorations. It is truly about people.
It's your mentorship.
Yes.
I mean, being young journalists, we know the mentors that led us and how much they meant to us. And now I think I agree with you. It's just giving back, right?
Absolutely.
You're a giver.
Absolutely, yes. So are you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
On this Veterans Day, I honor you. I honor
thank you.
all of the people that served before you. And thank you so much. And best of luck to your daughters as well.
Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Ahasi. Thank you, General Ahasi. She also served for some time as a Fall River police officer. General Ahasi's husband and 2 daughters are also enlisted in the military. So from the present, we take a look back at the past. Joe Bisco, retired Fall River building inspector and Vietnam veteran, will follow our general. Joe, thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it very much.
Joe, tell me your experiences in Vietnam, perhaps how they shaped you to be the man you are today.
Well, when I joined the Army in 1965, it was quite an experience. The Army teaches you how to be self-reliant and also to work as a team. And another thing is that when adversity strikes, you have to deal with it. You can't walk away. And they teach you that. You face it head on and you deal with that, and you could carry that on through the rest of your life.
Joe, you have a very interesting collection of autographs. You do not collect Civil War memorabilia because you says it was brothers fighting brothers. It's too heart-wrenching for you. Can you tell me about your collection of autographs from World War II and Korea?
I have a few from Korea, not that many, but I got to meet a lot of veterans from World War II, Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force. I met most of the A-bomb crews, the guys who flew in the planes, including Tibbets. The Doolittle Raiders, I talked to his co-pilot, who was, matter of fact, the last Doolittle Raider that was alive at the end, and what was his name? R.C. Cole, great guy, he was his co-pilot. And I met guys from the Battle of the Bulge, Iwo Jima, all of that, and I got their autographs. But the best part is, besides reading the book, you get to talk to them in person, and they give you the first-hand information because they were there. And it was amazing how they could attract a crowd down at the Mid-Atlantic Air Museum. We'd go there every year, and they have the World War II reenactors. You could fly on bombers and fly on in the fighter planes. Plus, you meet all these guys. The only bad thing about it, after all these years, it's dwindling, and there isn't that many guys from World War II around anymore. And
I think if my number is correct, we're about at 18 to 20,000 World War II men left. Does that sound?
I saw something on TV the other day, and they said 16 million people were in the armed services during World War II, and now there's less than 10%. You know, and they're dying like, what, 1,400 veterans a day from World War II?
And that's why we know that some of the funerals we have is the recorded taps because of that very reason. Listen, thank you so much for your service, Joe. You've done so much for Fall River, so much for our country. Proud to call you a friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
I've watched you many years sit and proudly salute from the
going
side.
there right now.
You're going there right now,
Yep,
and today
I love
on
it.
this Veterans Day,
Yep.
I said we're getting them up here.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
again.
Joe. Be
Thank
well.
you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Joe Bisco, our retired Fall River building inspector, worked many years, and he's still going strong inspecting buildings, but in the town of Berkeley. So I did hear some of the parade going off already from Kennedy Park, but on a more somber note, I want to talk to you about the 988 hotline. It's critically important that people are aware of the 988 hotline. 988 hotline is a nationwide 24-hour crisis line for anyone who feels that they might need assistance. Veterans who dial 911 should press 1 and they will immediately be directed to that point. Remember, self-care includes mental health, it's critical for all. Suicide rates for veterans and military personnel are double the civilian population, according to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Approximately 17 U.S. veterans, sadly, take their life every day. We do have two wonderful packs that I'm going to put on hold till after the parade, or perhaps when we reach a lull, because I can actually hear the police motorcade starting, and I know that it will be difficult to speak over them. And we also hear some of our honor guard as well. It will be difficult to speak over the police motorcade. And I want you to be sure to hear the wonderful story of the Marshall Center from Bristol Community College that was founded by veterans, combat veterans, former president of BCC, Jack Sabrega, and Joseph Marshall, also a combat veteran from Vietnam. 10 years ago, they thought it would be useful for veterans on campus at BCC to be able to access immediately assistance with paperwork, DD 214, and GI loans. I'm going to step to the side for a bit now, as it's obviously difficult to talk over our police motorcade. Thank you for coming out, our young people here, to honor our veterans. Stay with us. We'll have live coverage for the rest of the parade, as well as the speaking ceremony beginning directly afterward at the atrium here at Government Center. Guest speaker will be General Lisa Ahasey. We just heard from her. And of course, our Veteran Service Officer is Talos Doc Farris. This parade is brought to you under the guidance of Mayor Paul Coogan in the city of Fall River, as well as the Fall River War Veterans Council and the Veteran Service Organization. It was a blustery morning, as I'm sure you saw. Hello again. A blustery morning, as you saw. You know, we were outside getting ready to film General Ahasey, and the snow started falling, and I thought to myself, this might be a Veterans Day first. But it's funny looking back at some of the pictures over the decades. And some Veterans Days, I'm wearing only a suit coat and some slacks, and I'm perfectly warm. Here we go. The Fall River Motorcycle Unit leading off the parade for 2025 Veterans Day. A little bit of... I feel like a talking parrot. I need a cue so that I'm not speaking over the officers here. But have you checked out the new e-bikes too that the department has? They're kind of snazzy. They're useful on the rail trail. They're quiet, and they can go places where the cruisers and the big bikes can't go. So this is the start of our parade. Our honor guard will be next. It's generally customary to put our emergency workers at the front and the back of the parade in the event that there is a call and they need to make a hasty exit somewhere else in the city. If you haven't yet, please make note to go down to the Bicentennial Memorial Veterans Park that we have on the waterfront in Fall River. It is absolutely amazing, and I am so proud to have watched that park take shape as they worked to raise money for the replica Vietnam Wall. The sun is coming out. I have Sophie Dorego behind the camera. She is a fabulous Fred TV student, assisted by reporter McKenna Borges, who will soon be taking my place over here, I hope, as a reporter. But McKenna did a wonderful job, and you will see a pack from McKenna later on in this broadcast. And I think both of these young ladies have a bright future, not only at Fred TV, at Durfee High School, but wherever they go. It's one of my proudest moments is when I'm able to mentor and help out the young people that work alongside me. Thank you to members of the Fall River Police Honor Guard. You can hear music now from the Colonial Navy of Massachusetts. It's led by Tom Murray. And there is our Grand Marshal, Lisa Hasey. You just saw her pass by. Good to see you, Lisa. If you are a member of one of these replica or reenactment groups, they judge you down to the buttons. Your eyeglasses when you are on an official event. Thank you to the Colonial Navy. The veterans of foreign wars have just passed by our screen as well. That's Post 486 out of Fall River. This is the William S. Green, Chapter 9, Disabled American Vets of Fall River. They are 600 members strong. They currently operate out of Pine Street, and they will be working out of a new building by the time we hold our next Veterans Day Parade 2026. You're still hearing the Colonial Navy Band there under the direction of Tom Murray. We take another look at Chapter 9 DAV from Fall River. Usually I can make out faces a little bit better, but everyone is bundled up with hats and sunglasses and hoods. Vietnam Veterans of America is next. We remember the work that they put into for the replica wall at the waterfront. And the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I'm not sure I see that yet. Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 207, is under the direction of President Justin Latini from Westport. Veterans Association of Bristol County. Ken Levesque is the director. Kim Cavallo Wagner is the assistant. And there are the men and ladies who operate out of Pine Street there. The VABC provides so much in the way of clothing, shelter, housing needs for veterans, serving about 6,000 families in Bristol County. Tin Can Sailors have their own office in Somerset, and if you need to know about the Tin Can Sailors, the ships they were on actually were about as thin as a tin can. You could hear the waves when you were sleeping. They were considered lethal because they were so quiet and so speedy. Thank you to the gentlemen aboard the Tin Can Sailors organization based out of Somerset. The Marine Corps League, Lieutenant Corporal John J. Van Guysen, and our own BMC Durfee High School band right now under the direction of Julie Klinger. Let's take a listen. State Championship BMC Durfee High School Marching Band under the direction of Julia Klinger. Now going by members of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall Organization Committee. And they were led by, well, Mr. Bisco, who we just had on, Mr. Joe Marshall. They were led by Jack Zabrega, Linda Pereira, Bill Damaris, Paula Damaris, and many others who worked to bring this lovely wall to our waterfront. We can see City Councilor Linda Pereira there at the center. Over 58,000 names on that wall. It is an exact replica of the wall that was dedicated in Washington, D.C. Our elected officials now, we have State Rep Stephen Ouellette, Councilor Andrew Raposo, Councilor Cliff Pont. We have Shelley Pereira, School Committee woman, Alan Sylvia, and Carol Fiola, State Rep. Councilor-elect Michael Canuel, and there goes Colin Dias from the School Committee just off the screen. Councilor Ricky Tith is there also, and Mayor Paul Coogan right to the left with a bright orange hat. Do I have everyone? Oh, yep, Councilor-elect Peckham and Kevin Aggie are also a member of the Fall River School Committee. Thank you, men and ladies. Great people to work alongside of. Hello to Miss Fall River. Such a wonderful, wonderful scholarship program for young ladies. One of the largest scholarship programs in the world that is dedicated to young females. The South Coast Nurse Honor Guard is led by Nurse Darlene Tetrold. And you can see it with their uniforms, the history of nursing across our country. And there's Darlene now. Only now, I think, are they starting to recognize the role that female nurses played in Vietnam. For a while, it was thought that the women who served as nursing and in the hospital units maybe did not see the worst of battle, but certainly they did. They took care of the war wounded. Polish American War Veterans Council just passed by on your screen as well. All right. It's a good turnout. It's interesting here because you can see where the parade ends over here at Government Center. And there's Mr. Biscow. I think he was ready to head inside, or speak with someone. The parade ends here at Government Center, and then the doors will be opening soon to the atrium where everyone can file in, and there's a speaking program, prayer service, music. Organizer Talos Faris, our VSO this year, tells us it'll be a little different. He wants to make the focus on some of the veterans, and recognition will be given to veterans from our region who have certainly served our country proudly and bravely. But did you see the flurries earlier today? It was, as I was saying, it's interesting with the weather that we get in November here. I always just say you have to dress for it. I've done veterans parades before in a nice red sports coat and black skirt or black slacks, and here we are today all bundled up. So thank you so much for coming out. And you know, if you see a vet today, think of that. I want everybody to be aware too of the services that are out there and the programs that will honor your service in the military. The Department of Conservation and Recreation, if you go onto the Massachusetts State website, put in some of your past military service records, you have free passes to all of the state parks in Massachusetts, and so many other states do that as well. So I know it's such a small bit to say thank you by simply offering admission at a park. But to you who served, who've made our country what it is and continue to make the country what it is, we are immensely grateful for your service. I can hear the tail end of the parade coming up right now as we take on some of the emergency vehicles under, yes, there they come. The fire department and the EMS will bring up the rear of the parade. The Fall River Fire Department is under the operation of Chief Jeffrey Bacon. City of Fall River Police Department is led by Chief Kelly Furtado. Chief Beth Faunce is Director of the Emergency Medical Services. And Richard Aguiar heads up the Emergency Management Agency. I'll read those names again when we have a chance and it's quiet. City of Fall River Fire Department, under the direction of Chief Jeffrey Bacon. City of Fall River Police Department, Chief Kelly Furtado. Chief Beth Faunce heads up our Emergency Medical Services Unit. And Richard Aguiar is the director of the Fall River Emergency Management Agency. And we can see the brass band playing now, and the Boy Scouts are kind of lagged behind because they're waiting as we get some of the engines and ladders through the side street here. Hey, if we had to have a little bit of downtime, I'm glad it was while the brass band was playing. And at 99 South Main, if we can take a shot over there, they're still going on cleaning those windows. I was talking about that earlier with my coworker, Mike Ferreira. And boy, you couldn't have picked a colder day to clean the windows or wait on the sidewalk underneath that spray. All right, thank you to the Boy Scouts. What a great organization here in Fall River. It's Troop 15. We've seen this Medivac vehicle around Fall River, and it's brought on in serious cases. There's Chief Beth Faunce. You know, I'm often told by the men and women who fight the fires, who wear the blue and show up at these emergency, life has really changed when you're a first responder. Now it's chemical spills, it's drugs, waves of mental illness. Dozens of ghost guns have actually been confiscated in the city this year, according to Police Chief Furtado. And so the life of an officer or a firefighter or EMS, EMT has really, really changed. It's a rough job, and from the bottom of my heart, having public service people in my family, I thank every single one of these men and women who do it every day. You see Richard Aguiar, there you go. Bay State Band will be coming up soon. You can see him in the center of your screen once we get through all the EMS department here for the city of Fall River. So remember, stay tuned. Once the parade wraps up, there's a speaking program from the atrium. Brigadier General Ahasey is the guest speaker. Although veterans deserve recognition 365 days of the year, this is the special day reserved for all veterans, past and present. a pat on the back. And our veteran service officer, Farris, wants to make sure that people know when you see a vet, think of vet, and he intends to do that today at this ceremony, which again, Fall River Government Television will be broadcasting live right after the parade. But do stick around. We have a couple of wonderful stories coming up. One from the BCC Veteran Center and another one on a fundraiser recently at Narrows. Let's take a listen to the Bay State Band. This is the Gillette Martial Arts Studio. Mr. Gillette comes out every year big at most of the parades with his students. They teach so much more than just martial arts. They teach self-respect, self-control, patriotism, respect of parents, and gratitude for country. Thank you to Mr. Gillette. And that about is wrapping up our parade. Honorary nurses just went by. May I ask you a question? Where's Darlene? How did I know? Come up, come up, come up. Talk about being put on the spot, right?
I know, yes.
All right, I'm Pam.
So
You
Pam.
look lovely. Tell me the history of your group.
Well, the history of our group is we started about a year ago. It's one of the only chapters in the state of Massachusetts. There's another one upper towards New Hampshire, but we're down here on the south coast. We started in Fall River, and we have like 20 of us. Get over here, Jesse. Come over
Hold
here.
on a minute. What's your goal? What's your goal? What's your goal?
Our goal is to have more nurses join the Honor Guard. We're a volunteer service. We do missions for fallen nurses, for palliative care, for hospice nurses. And we're going to do Christmas caroling at some nursing homes. And wherever we're needed, we go.
Okay, Darlene, I'm going to give you my card, and we're going to become good buddies.
Excellent.
Okay?
I appreciate it. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate it. Okay. Right over there. I'm going to give this to my coworker, Evan, okay? Ladies, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm stepping off camera for 1 minute to clear my hands here. Oh, it's blowing away. All right, it's okay. I'm going to get organized. To everyone in the back room over there, my co-workers, I did promise you that we had a PAC coming up from Bristol Community College. So my co-worker in Goodford, Evan Massoud, and I went there last week. And I had heard about the Veteran Center at BCC. It was founded about 10 years ago. It was really the brainchild of President Jack Sabrega and Joe Marshall, both Vietnam War veterans. And they decided that the veterans population at BCC, which may be only as low as 1% to 2% of the BCC enrolled students, could use a little bit of help, all under one roof. Across the globe, student veterans from Bristol Community College excel in leadership roles. Center Director Denny Cosmo contributes to the personal growth of his peers and students.
You see them really open up and realize all the opportunities and access and resources and benefits available to them, and then they start taking advantage of it, and then they want to share it with their veteran friends and community as well.
This is the hub for our area's Student Veterans of America chapter. With honor and distinction, the men and women here proudly represent the Warrior Scholar Project.
Our chapter was a 2024 SVA Chapter of the Year finalist. We didn't win, But Bristol Community College was on stage with Cornell, Baylor University out of Texas. These are schools that are Ivy League schools or 10 times our student veteran population. And Bristol Community College students were on the same stage.
Internships, volunteering, academics, and military assignments have Lance Corporal Osmond Clark involved on campus, within his community and country.
I think when people hear the word veteran, they think of the movies, the media they've seen. They have this image of like this battle-hardened fellow, like unstable, even if you'd want to use that word. But we're still people at the end of the day.
This Marine reservist presents a calm demeanor, reliant on direct and continuous training.
Being a reservist, there's always the thought of when I'll be needed, be activated, you want to say, because, you know, signing up, you carry the responsibility of being called into action if need be.
Staff Sergeant Cosmo is a member of the 75th Army Ranger Special Troops Battalion. He speaks Arabic and completed several combat tours in Iraq. Cosmo, though, had difficulty transferring that elite training to the classroom.
After a year, I had like a 0.84 GPA, and I left. My then girlfriend, now wife, moved back here where I'm from. I went to the Community College Rhode Island, and I actively sought out the veteran community. And they had a really positive culture. They were asking me questions, and they were inviting me into the circle, and it was night and day.
Lance Corporal Clark is a satellite and radio communication operator.
Your setup might not be correct, or it might not work, so you'll have to cycle through and troubleshoot. You know, why isn't it working? Did I check all the plugs and cables? And I think that's transferable to like my field of study, electrical engineering.
BCC has repeatedly been named to the list of military-friendly schools for retired and active duty service people, their spouses, and children.
The value that this center brings is building social capital, having older veterans that are kind of anxious about going back to school to meet some younger veterans and have that community-based learning aspect of it. So they bond through shared military service in their history, but then they're all Bristol students here, so they're all navigating higher education, they're all facing the same challenges.
Beautiful. Okay, Denny and Osmond tell me that one of the most rewarding parts of their job is gathering interviews from veterans that are then submitted and profiled and compiled by the Library of Congress. And although only 1% to 2%, that number obviously varies, of student population at Bristol Community College are made up of veterans, the Veteran Student Group is one of the most active clubs on the campus of BCC. As I mentioned earlier, one of the most rewarding parts of my job is being able to mentor young people at Durfee High School, whether it's at the swim team in the pool where I lifeguard and teach swim, or it's in the classroom at Fred TV. Student McKenna Borges and I recently attended an event at the Narrows, which was a fundraiser. Rewarding enough was having McKenna speak with some of the veterans.
I'm McKenna Borges, reporting for Fred TV. After years of planning and fundraising, the Veterans Association of Bristol County is about to complete a mission. Board members are close to celebrating their most important victory to date.
And the City of Fall River will always support them. This move down to Globe Street is really going to allow them to broaden their horizons and do a lot more to help veterans integrate better into the community, get jobs, housing.
More than 200 people toured a solo exhibit by Brian Fox titled In the Valley of the Shadow. The haunting portraits depict war scenes from World War II through current day. Sadly, the theme of battle is timeless.
So it's always nice to help out, and it's always looking for a reason to give back. And with the veterans, they're always in need, so we need to always step up as citizens and help these guys out.
The Veterans Association outgrew their building on Pine Street, and they just bought a new building on Globe Street, and they hope to open it next spring. You can view the Brian Fox exhibit through the end of the year at Narrows Center on Anawan Street. Maureen Ken Levesque told the audience local vets are overdue for a modernized central location.
And we just keep doing what we're doing, right? And I think since day one I've said, if we do the right thing for the right reason, good things are going to happen. And here we are, almost 4 years later, worst kept secret, we are moving. Fingers crossed. So, as we move forward, I hope you'll stay involved. Come visit the new center when it opens. Volunteer. Spread the word. Support in whatever ways you can, because every bit makes a difference.
Christine Tron served 30 years in the Army, learning several languages to serve as an interrogator. And what would you like to say to any female in the military right now?
Watch your back. Watch your buddy's back. Watch your buddy's back regardless of gender. It's important that teamwork for everybody. But always remember, you're standing on the shoulders of women who've been assaulted, who've been killed, who have trauma, that are still working through it, and who have killed themselves over it because they cannot get over it. Keep what you've been given by other women. Go with it. Work with it. And do not give up.
The new building will have rooms for private counseling on PTSD and other medical needs. In addition, office space will be available for specialists to help vets with financial and career planning, as well as VA loans for home ownership. And there are plans for a large refrigeration system. That's critical. At times, the Pine Street Center has to turn away food donations due to lack of storage space. I'm McKenna Borges, reporting from the Fred TV News Desk. Stay tuned for updates from the Veterans Association of Bristol County. Back to you, Pam.
Nice job, McKenna, from the desk of our Fred TV studio at Durfee High School. Well, that wraps up the parade. I'm honored that you were able to be here at home watching. Please know that we will rebroadcast this many times on our station, as well as on our Facebook page and our YouTube page, so please look for that as well. To all the crew here who helped out from Fred TV, Fall River Government Television, our students as well, the mayor's office, thank you for watching. Thank you, veterans, for your service. Coming up, also live coverage from the atrium with the Veteran Service Officer and other speakers, as well as a quick prayer service. Thank you for watching, and I'm honored to be a part of your Veterans Day. Take care.
Just a date on the calendar. It's a promise. It's our collective commitment to remembering those who have given ultimate sacrifice and served in service of our country. Today, we recognize not only the service of our veterans, but also the partnerships, families, and citizens who continue to support us here every day here in the greater Fall River area. On behalf of the City of Fall River and the Department of Veteran Services, thank you, all of you, for being here to honor those who gave us so much. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize the elected officials here in attendance today, our city councilors, the mayor, any school committee members, and all elect members. Thank you for joining us here today. Also, our state reps, any of them that are here in attendance as well. I think I saw Representative Alan Sylvia here somewhere in the crowd. Thank you for being here. And finally, to every veteran and every family member and every member of the public here today, thank you. Your presence and continued participation remind us that service and sacrifice are not forgotten in the city of Fall River. To begin today's ceremony, I invite City Councilman Andrew Raposo to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to welcome forward Ms. Fall River to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you for that rendition. At this time, I would like to welcome forward Father Rob to offer us prayer.
Please join with me in prayer. Let us bow our heads. Lord God, we come to you on this Veterans Day filled with gratitude and humbled by our freedom, for we know that freedom is not free. And in order to grant our country's freedom, millions of men and women have presented their lives to serve on our behalf. Help us to remember that their service meant sacrifice, time spent away from loved ones, eyes that cannot unsee war, and memories that do not seem to ever fade. Lord, we may not know all the hardships they have endured, but you do. You see all, you know all, and you are with all. We pray that these men and women would cast their burdens on you and find everlasting peace in your presence. Let our hearts be stirred by the selflessness of our veterans. Let their sacrifice motivate us to serve one another as they have served us. Help us also to remember the sacrifice of their families, the parents who exchanged last hugs before deployments, never knowing if they would see their child again. the moms and dads raising children of military personnel, willingly taking on the role of both mother and father, the kids who wait patiently by the door day after day, just waiting for their hero to come back home. Freedom is not free, and the weight of our veterans' service fell on their families too. Lord, we pray that you would open our eyes to see the needs of all the veterans in our community. Open our mouths to uplift our veterans with honor and kindness. Open our hands in generosity to serve and care for them. Let us not be too busy or too distracted to not honor their sacrifices. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father Rob. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to welcome forward one of Fall River's younger veterans. This year, in doing my job, I've come across several younger veterans that have a lot to offer this city. And I find that when you take time to pour into them and allow them the opportunity for success, they will surprise you. So I'd like to welcome forward a local creator, Jeff Sarnecki, Navy veteran.
So first off, I got to start off, I just got to thank my son Liam. I died 3 years ago today. The only reason I'm here today is thanks to my son Liam and everybody at the Veterans Association of Bristol County. This is called TAPS. We all know what TAPS is if you served. When we were boys and girls, we left our farms, our barrios, our apartments, and our mansions. We did it for patriotism, college, a place to fit in or to escape. We became electricians, ship drivers, mechanics, and jack of all trades. We became soldiers, Marines, airmen, and sailors. At a moment's notice, we would turn in our families, our books, our tools, our futures, and our lives for a rifle, a tank, or a plane. Too many never came home. Others made it but were forever different. And still others have struggled to move on. Today, y'all take time to remember us and what we did. But tomorrow you might curse our existence. You might spit on our uniforms. You might twist our mistakes for your own purposes, or you might even take the benefits of our existence to further your own lives. But yeah, we don't hate you. We understand. We fought to give you those rights. All we ask is that you remember we were just boys and girls trying to become men and women. We were just students trying to become teachers. We were apprentices trying to become masters. All we ask is that you continue to honor our dead. Teach your children the stories of how and where they died. You might not remember, or you might not care for why they died. Just remember they died for you. This is written in memory of Gunner's Mate 2nd Class, Miller, USS Boxer, Red Sea, Persian Gulf, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, died on watch. In memory of Sergeant Ronald Kubik, 3rd of the 75th Rangers, awarded the Silver Star posthumously, saving women and children in Afghanistan, alongside Jason Santora, Sergeant, 3rd of the 75th Rangers, also posthumously awarded the Silver Star, saving women and children. I hope this reaches every one of you, and I honor every veteran out there. Thank you.
Tough act to follow. Couldn't have said it better myself. Good job, Jeff. I also have a small poem to offer you that's not so small, but I think it's pertinent for today. The name of this poem is I Am a Veteran. You may know me let me start over. You may know me the first time we meet. I'm just another you see on the street, but I am the reason you walk and breathe free. I am the reason for your liberty. I am a veteran. I work in the local factories day and night. I own the restaurant just down the way. I sell you insurance. I start your IV. I've got the best looking grandkids you'll ever see. I'm your grocer, your banker, your children's school teacher. I'm your plumber and your barber, your family's preacher. But there's a part of me you don't know very well. Just listen a moment, I have a story to tell. I am a veteran. I joined the service while still in my teens. I traded my prom dress for camouflage greens. I'm the first in my family to do something like this. I followed my father like he followed his. Defying my fears and hiding my doubt, I married my sweetheart before I shipped out. I missed Christmas, then Easter, the birth of my son, but I knew I was doing what had to be done. I served on the battlefront, I served on the base, I bound up the wounded, and I begged for God's grace. I gave orders to fire, I followed commands, I marched into conflict in far distant lands. In the jungle, in the desert, on the mountains and shores, in bunkers and tents, in darkened earthen floors. While I fought on the ground, in the air, and on the sea, my family and friends were home praying for me. For the land of the free and the home of the brave, I faced my demons in foxholes and caves. Then, one dreaded day, without a drum or a fife, I lost an arm, but my buddy lost his life. I came home and moved on, but forever was changed. The perils of war in my memory remained. I don't really say much, and I don't feel like I can, but I left home a child and came home a man. There are thousands like me, thousands more never made it home, but their legacy lives as time marches on. White crosses in rows and names carved in queue remind us of what these brave souls had to do. I'm part of a fellowship, a strong, mighty band of each man and each woman who has served this great land. And when Old Glory waves, I stand proud and I stand tall. I help keep her flying over you and over all. I am a veteran. When looking at Veterans Day 2025 in the city of Fall River, I had to ask myself one question: what can we do different? Doing the same thing over and over again becomes mundane and monotonous, and people tend to forget the people in the background that do so much. So one of the reasons we're gathered here today is to recognize those folks that are not always out front. They're not always screaming for attention, but they have given this city and its veterans and its families so much. At this time, I take a moment to celebrate the incredible individuals and organizations who go above and beyond for our veterans and their families. These recognitions are not about medals or titles. They are about the people who quietly serve, who show up when called upon, who make Fall River's veteran community what it is today: stronger, united, and full of heart. The first group of individuals that I would like to recognize are our city's public safety services. You all remember the Gabriel House fire several months back. Now, if you've watched any video footage of that night, what we saw were men and women that gave and gave and gave. And they weren't doing it just for average, regular, everyday citizens. They were doing it for veterans as well. And although we lost a few that night, I guarantee you their actions prevented more lives being lost. So at this time, I would like to call forward representatives of the Fall River Fire Department, Chief Bacon, and your other representative. I'm sorry, I don't have his name. I'd also like to call forward the Fall River Police Department's representative, Sergeant Frank Andrade and Lieutenant Galvayo. I'm saying your name wrong, I know I am. Please forgive me. Next, I'd like to call forward the Fall River Emergency Medical Services Chief Beth Fonts and EMT Edward Holland. Is he not with us? It's okay. And last but not least, I would like to call forward the Fall River Emergency Management Agency Chief Aguiar and Lieutenant Victor Farias. The folks you see gathered here in front of you today are the leaders and some of the veterans that work in these departments that I described to you earlier. And like I said, their actions speak louder than any words I could ever say. Again, they prevented life. They ran into a building filled with smoke, heat, and danger, and they prevented further loss of life. And that, if not anything else, is exactly the spirit of a veteran. So thank you guys for everything that you've done. Thank you guys. If you would, please, one more round of applause for our public safety folks. Thank you, guys. On behalf of our veterans and our service members and all the families who sleep easier because of your work, thank you. Your courage, leadership, service, it matters. Please join me in that final round of applause for the Fall River Public Safety Services. This next award is a recognition for the veteran community supporters. On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services, the City of Fall River, and the City of Fall River Ward Veterans Council, I am pleased to present certificates of appreciation. I replaced that. I'm sorry. I'm pleased to present awards to these individuals who dedicate their time and spirit and service to keeping the veteran spirit alive. First off, we have Stephanie A. Roberts. Stephanie is a senior network construction engineer with Verizon. For the last few years, Stephanie has been leading a group of her fellow leaders and veterans here to the City of Fall River, and they flag graves for Memorial Day. They assist Victor Farias. There are over 10,000 plus graves in this city that need to be flagged every Memorial Day, and Stephanie and her team from Verizon assist us in getting that job done. So thank you, Stephanie. And I'll just read this aloud. Mayoral citation. Be it hereby known to all that this citation is hereby conferred to Stephanie A. Roberts in honor and recognition of your support of the Fall River veterans community and their families. Your dedication is uplifting to the entire veterans community and represents the true spirit of service in our city. To the entire citizenry extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for continued good fortune and success in all your endeavors. Given the 11th day of November 2025, on behalf of Mayor Paul Coogan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, I'd like to call forward Melissa Braga, Gold Star family member. What a lot of you don't know about Melissa, she's a business owner here in the Fall River area, but she's also a Gold Star family member. There are so many words I could use to describe how important her efforts are here in the city. A lot of you don't realize that behind the scenes, when things need to happen in a quiet way, but they're importantly getting done. Melissa is behind a lot of that. She helped the night of the Gabriel House fire, transporting the victims and survivors down to the Tamayo Center. She is also a part of flagging graves around this city. She is a part of so many different things. And just a thank you, I don't know is always enough, but thank you. Thank you. And again, a memorial citation for Melissa Braga. This is in honor and recognition of your support of the Fall River veterans community and their families. Your dedication to uplift the entire veterans community represents the true spirit of service to our city. Thank you. And next, I'd like to call these two individuals up together. You guys are all aware that the Veterans Association of Bristol County is going to be moving into a new building soon, expanding the services that they provide, not only here in the city of Fall River, but to the entirety of the South Coast. That would not be possible without, again, people that work hard in the background to make things happen. So with Sandy Curry and Holly Souza, please join me. Holly Souza is an amazing individual over at the Veterans Center here on Pine Street. She is quietly sometimes marketing and putting together events for veterans to take advantage of, but she's also always there to take a picture when you least expect it, to capture some of the best moments that a veteran is having a good day or having a good time partaking of the event that they're taking part of. That's everything from a cookout to rail explorers, which I had to catch my breath the other day, oh my God. But just different things go on out of our vet center that make being a veteran worth walking into the vet center for, and Holly is a huge part of that. So thank you, Holly. And Miss Sandy. Miss Sandy is the pen, the pencil, the accounting person. You cannot take a vet center that's been operating in, I don't know, let's say about 2,000 square feet and push it into how many thousands?
24,000.
24,000 square feet is the new footprint for the Veterans Center here in this city. You can't do that unless you have somebody that's in the background holding you to task, making sure you're doing what you need to do, but also currying the favor of donors, making sure that people understand exactly what it is that your organization does and who it supports. That is Sandy Curry. Again, mayoral citations for the both of you.
Oh, golly.
Oh, excuse me. Let's do this the other way around.
All right.
There we go. And thank you, ladies, both so much. The next award is the Community Partners Award. I would like to call forward two of the members of the Fall River Lodge of Elks 118. That would be Brian and Shelley. Would you guys both please come forward? On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services for the City of Fall River and the Fall River War Veterans Council, I am pleased to present the Veterans Community Partners Award for 2025 to the Fall River Lodge of Elks, number 118, represented here today by Exalted Ruler Brian Brisson and Esquire Shelley McCann Surratt. Brian and Shelley, your lodge's unwavering partnership, charitable outreach, and support of our veterans and our youth alike make you true community partners in our mission. Thank you for your leadership and your guidance. This group is the quietest group in the city of Fall River. They don't just donate to the VABC, they donate to almost every organization in this city. They make sure that people have meals to eat. They deliver meals to front doors. They hold bike rides and different things to raise money for individuals that need all sorts of things that others here in this room cannot help provide. And for actions like that, we say thank you. Next is the Veterans Youth Impact Award. This award is near and dear to my heart because I also volunteer time inside of the youth community here in Fall River. And our kids need way more than we're able to provide them right now, but I guarantee you, we have a good group of city councilors that are gonna help us make that happen. We're gonna meet the need. But in the in-between, Kim Broder and Chief Petty Officer William Squire, please come forward. On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services of the City of Fall River and the Fall River War Veterans Council, it is my honor to present the Veterans Youth Impact Award to two outstanding leaders. Kim Broder, whose leadership of the Fall River Young Marines program guides our youth in understanding patriotism, discipline, service, and citizenship, traits that reflect the very best of our veteran community. Chief Petty Officer retired William Squire, whose work as an instructor of the NJROTC program at BMC Durfee High School instills leadership, character, and service into our young people, ensuring that the next generation of Americans understands and carries forward the values of service before all. They, the both of them, your mentorship plants seeds of service for the next generation, and for that, the veteran community says thank you. I promise it's not forever and a day long, but we have people to thank. And the reason why this is a little bit long is because one of the things I realize is, as a good leader, we say thank you, but a great leader recognizes his people, and it's been a while, so the list is a little long. Next is the I've Got Your Six Award. Now, for the veterans in the crowd, we all understand what I've Got Your Six means. Denny Cosmo, please step forward. Ryan Flynn, please step forward. On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services of the City of Fall River and the Fall River War Veterans Council, I am proud to present the I've Got Your Six Veterans Award to Denny Cosmo and Ryan Flynn, both veterans. This award honors the promise that no service member is left behind, and you too exemplify that promise through your ongoing support and advocacy for your fellow veterans in our community. Now, for the both of them, each one of them have a different story and purpose. Denny Cosmo here, immediately to my right, is the Veterans Advisor at Bristol Community College. He is in charge of Student Veterans of America chapter there. His guidance literally touches every student veteran and their family member and military member that attends school at Bristol, helping guide them through career and life decisions. Ultimately, though, his impact is far beyond anything I can explain to you at all. Thousands of people have been through Bristol since he's been there, and each one of those interactions has been outstanding, and he's changing people's lives every day. Thank you, Denny. Immediately to his right is Ryan Flynn, former corrections officer, and as you can see, he's probably wearing a decoration that he earned. But his purpose for being here in front of you today is his service to his fellow veteran. Now, many of you know who Manny Carvalho was. He's a very loved and endeared person here in this community. He's one of our final living members of the World War II community. In his time of need, Ryan was there. He was his battle buddy, his confidant, and his immediate buddy for just laughs and jokes on the general population when needed, right? But sometimes things like this get overlooked. Sometimes doing the hard thing and looking out for your fellow veteran when they're in their older years and they just need somebody is unthanked. Today, we say thank you for what you've done, Ryan Flynn, and so does Manny. Thank you. Now, I've got something a little bit different out of the box for you. Manny was a very special person, but you guys became more than friends. Y'all became family. so I can present you with this version of the I've Got Your Six award. Is Emmanuel Fernandez in the house today? Is he here? No? So Emmanuel Fernandez works over at the Disabled American Veterans here at Pine Street. He helps veterans put in disability claims from all over the region. People come from far away to include Connecticut and Boston to this DAV to get those services provided. Manny has been selected as the South Coast Veterans Transition House Veteran of the Year. So I'd like to just take a moment for us to give him a round of applause, even though he's not here in attendance. Manuel Fernandez is also a part of something even bigger, and his partner, Scott Isaacson, which some of you also know is former Fall River firefighter, as well as a Navy veteran. Scott Isaacson is one of those individuals that took his own personal experience with PTSD and turned it into something positive for his fellow veterans. Scott Isaacson and Emmanuel Fernandez started the peer-to-peer group over at the Vet Center at Pine Street, which goes on every Monday, starting at 4:30, 5 o'clock, depending on when people sit down. On behalf of the Department of Veterans Services, City of Fall River, and Fall River War Veterans Council, it is a privilege to present the Veterans Healing Veterans Award to Scott Isaacson and Emmanuel Fernandez. Your ability to transform personal experience into compassion, outreach, and mentorship helps other veterans begin their journeys of healing. Thank you for that service. This next award is also extremely personal and special to me. It is the Veterans Resiliency Award. One of the two people that were receiving this award today is actually in the hospital, so they could not attend, and that would be Robert Uphold. Robert Uphold's story is one remarkable story. Robert went from living on the street, not having a place to lay his head, not having things to eat, the basic things that we all have, to thriving, getting housing, getting involved, getting engaged with his fellow veteran, and pushed himself up to BCC and is now taking classes there and getting his degree in counseling so that he can help his fellow veteran. Outside of that is Ronald J. Cabral Sr., the Major, as most of us know him. Some of you might have seen the reports that he earned his associate's degree at Bristol Community College within the last year, and that is his reason for being recognized today for the Veterans Resiliency Award. On behalf of the Department of Veterans Services, City of Fall River, and Fall River War Veterans Council, I present the Veteran Resiliency Award to Robert Uphold and Major Ronald J. Cabral Sr. Resilience isn't about failing. It's about never failing or any version of that. It's about rising stronger each time you fall and fail. Your leadership, perseverance, and commitment to your community continue to inspire. And for that, I say thank you. Please come up. Now, how inspiring is it at 80 to go and finish your degree? 81. That's resilience, if you ask me. Says it took him 50 years. Thank you, Major. Next is another very important award called the Veterans Advocacy Award. The Veterans Advocacy Award is going to a very special individual in our community. This person has over 25 years of experience in the healthcare field, working with veterans that are homeless, that have substance abuse and addiction problems. But over the course of the last 16 months, I've gotten to know this person very well, and I call her my battle buddy. Her name is Dolly Mello. And those of you that know Dolly Mello know that she doesn't take shit from anybody. She doesn't take excuses. She holds your feet to the fire, and she pushes veterans to be a better version of themselves to help them through whatever difficult time they're going through. Dolly has been a part of helping me house over 25 veterans and their families here in this area. And for that, we tell Dolly thank you. On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services, City of Fall River, and the Fall River War Veterans Council, I present the Veterans Advocacy Award to Dolly Mello. Your voice, advocacy, and tireless efforts elevate the lives of veterans and their families across our region. Thank you for guiding and leading the charge. Dolly and her husband are both in Washington, D.C., taking in veterans events in D.C. So thank you, Dolly. We're getting close to the end here. Commander Attorney Rena Brown, please join me. Now, Rena Brown is not the kind of person that wants us to give her awards and things like that, so I'm going to speak.
I'm gonna start crying.
But Attorney Brown has given a second voice to veterans, and it's well needed. As the new commander of the Fall River War Veterans Council, we have been able to work together not only with my office and her leadership, but with other organizations in the Fall River area to bring collaboration in its fullest efforts to this city again. Veterans in a group that she runs now have a voice, and for that we are grateful and thankful for your leadership. Thank you, Attorney Brown.
Thank you.
Now we're getting close to the coup de grace. So I know I mentioned Veteran of the Year for the South Coast, but we've identified one of our very own here in the city of Fall River that gives so much. Behind the scenes was the theme earlier that I mentioned. This person drives buses, picks up fire victims, and makes sure they make it to safety. He's a part of the EMA department. He is the Flags and Graves officer of this city. Victor Farias, will you please join me here at the podium? Please. On behalf of the Department of Veteran Services, City of Fall River, and the Fall River War Veterans Council, it is my great pleasure to present the 2025 Veteran of the Year Award to Lieutenant Victor Farias, also a veteran. Victor's leadership has become a pillar for our veteran community. He shows up, stands strong, leads by example. His service, humility, and commitment to others define what this city honors today. Victor, thank you for representing the very best of who we are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, hang tight. Citation as well from the mayor in honor and recognition of your unwavering support of the Fall River veterans community and your selection as the Fall River Veteran of the Year, representing the very best of our veterans community. Signed, Mayor Paul E. Coogan, given this 11th day of November 2025. Give us 2 minutes.
I really don't know what to say except thank you to all my fellow veterans, my family, my friends. This is an honor, especially to be here amongst all of you. I love doing what I do. Again, not for the recognitions. I just feel that when someone needs help or it's just, it's something from my heart, you know. I want to thank my family again, all my veteran fellows. What a great person that I've got to know Doc and all my friends on this side and on this side here. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Trust he had no idea that was coming. Getting close to the end, I promise. So next is the Veterans Voice Award, who is going to a very special individual by the name of Brian Fox. For those of you who have not had the opportunity to get down to the Narrows to see his work, it is remarkable. Brian Fox's ability to paint and put onto different mediums the memories and the stories of our Vietnam veterans is beyond anything that I can explain. I promise you, you just have to go experience it. On behalf of the Department of Veterans Services for the City of Fall River and its War Veterans Council, I am honored to present the Veterans Voice Award to Brian Fox. Brian, your current series of artwork gives voice to the Vietnam veteran of our city and our nation. You've taken the memories, stories, and lived experiences of those who served and rendered them in a visual splendor. Each brush stroke, each portrait, each canvas you produce ensures their stories are seen, felt, and remembered forever. For that, we say thank you and job well done, Brian Fox. And the coup de grace. Special recognition with Brigadier General Lisa Hasey. Please join me here at the podium. Also had no idea this was coming. So General Hasey is our Grand Marshal for today's parade, but she's so much more than that, right? She's a Fall River girl, as I've heard many of you say, right? She was born and raised right here. She's got an outstanding military career here with the Mass Air National Guard, and she serves as the Assistant Adjutant General in that position. On behalf of the Department of Veterans Services, the City of Fall River, and the Fall River War Veterans Council, we proudly present this special recognition to Brigadier General Lisa Hasey as our parade Grand Marshal, mentor, and leader. You have served with distinction, guided future generations, and supported our veteran community in profound ways. Today, we present you the key to the city in acknowledgement of your vision, your service, and your enduring impact. For that, we say thank you.
That was a complete surprise. I'm going to test that key out later, Mayor Coogan, if that's okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today to honor our nation's veterans. Can we give our fearless VSO, Talos Doc Farris, a round of applause? Doc, what you do for our city is awe-inspiring. When I met you last year, my very first thought was, this guy is a true blue patriot. He does not fool around, he does not take no for answer, and he gets the job done. And a year later, I was right. It's a tremendous honor to serve as this year's Grand Marshal for the Fall River Veterans Day Parade. This city holds a very special place in my heart, not only because of its proud history of service and sacrifice, but because, for me, it is home. As a Fall River native and a graduate of BNC Jeffrey High School and Bristol Community College, I am deeply humbled to serve here and stand before you to represent the very community who helped shape who I am. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible honor to be here today. Every veteran that we meet, everyone here today and those we haven't met, carries a backpack, and it's filled with experiences. Some of those packs are very, very heavy. They're filled with pain, they're filled with challenge and loss and sacrifice, while others carry a lighter backpack. It's filled with hope, pride, readiness, and purpose. But each one serves a clear purpose, shaping who they are and what they bring back to their families, their communities, and our nation. And while the weight of those, we call them rucksacks, not backpacks anymore, although in the Air Force, I think we call them backpacks, right, may differ, each veteran shares one powerful truth. At some point in their life, they raised their right hand and swore to protect the very freedom that we all enjoy every single day. They stood ready to defend this nation, and if necessary, to pay for that freedom with their own life. That is the essence of service, and it's what binds every veteran, past, present, and future, together in a shared legacy of courage and sacrifice. Veterans Day is about gratitude, which Doc so graciously taught us all today. It's about reflection, it's about action. It's about honoring those who served and ensuring their legacy lives on through our schools, our families, and our shared commitment to community. To every veteran here today, thank you for your courage, your sacrifice, and your unwavering devotion to duty. And to every young person here today, four of my grandchildren are here, know that service comes in many forms. Whether you wear the uniform, volunteer locally, or simply stand up for what's right, your actions matter. As Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." That spirit of resilience and perseverance defines our veterans and service members in this great community of Fall River. I am deeply proud to be from this city, a place that leads with heart, humility, and hope. Thank you for allowing me this honor today, and God bless our veterans, our military families, and the city of Fall River and the United States of America. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, General. So just when the General might have thought this was over, we also have one final thing to award, but it is in the name of Brigadier General Lisa Ahesi. It is called the Future Leaders of Fall River Scholarship. Scholarship recipient this year is none other than our very own Sylvia Jones. Please join us at the podium. We have another scholarship in the name of former DAV Commander Paul Pacheco. And the recipient of that scholarship, I'm going to murder this kid's name. I am so sorry. Kyle, are you here? Please come forward. Now, the Fall River War Veterans Council has decided to give $1,000, am I mistaken? $1,000 scholarships to each of these students here. So on behalf of the Department of Veteran Services for the City of Fall River and the Fall River War Veterans Council, we are proud to introduce the first recipient of the General Lisa Ahesi Future Leaders of Fall River Scholarship, as well as the first recipient of the Paul Pacheco Future Leader Scholarship. These students exemplify leadership, civic pride, service, and promise. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you. Yes. At this time, I would like to invite Father Rob back up to give us closing prayer, and then we'll have the closing remarks.
Please join with me in prayer. Lord God, our Heavenly Father, as we conclude this ceremony on this important day where we honor our veterans, we give you thanks for the self-sacrifice and service of these dedicated men and women that have fought for, protected, and provided us the freedom we enjoy today. We honor and acknowledge their devotion to duty in our country in defense of liberty, justice, and truth. showing us the meaning of true patriotism. We ask your heavenly blessing and grace upon them and their families, as well as those serving our country today. This we ask in your most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in one more round of applause for all of today's honorees, individuals and organizations who remind us that service takes many forms and that our city's strength lies in the hearts of those who we serve. This is new, but it can become a tradition like so many of the other traditions we have. Please have a seat. So I'm calling upon the Fall River War Veterans Council and the other veteran service organizations here in the city to take charge, take over this ceremony. Once a year in December, we will honor our veterans and those that impact veterans and those that impact veterans' families going forward in December. Good to go? I take that as a yes. Again, thank you all for your attendance today. And I am grateful. I'm truly honored to stand here in front of all of you and have you all recognize those that are not so often recognized. Thank you.